The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys! This is Media Mash,
A roundtable of Cowboys insiders
dropping wisdom
and offering sizzling takes
on the current state of your Dallas Cowboys.
Now, your host,
Newy Scruggs.
Thursday, right here at the Star in Frisco. We are in the SWBC podcast studios for the Media Mash. Jock Taylor is here. Ed Werder is here. We have Clarence Hill here. I am merely Newy Scruggs to help carry on the conversation. Big news of the day, Zack Martin is having surgery on his ankle that will end his season. Micah Parsons in the locker room said this about Zack Martin, according to Calvin Watkins' page.
We were all there. You don't have to attribute it to him.
Why y'all attribute group quotes? I mean, like, I'll be like, it's not like it wasn't no exclusive. It wasn't no exclusive.
Okay. I'm just going to read from what I see on Calvin's page, which is I really just hate to see him go out like this last year of his deal and everything he's really meant to the team. The work he put in, the time, effort, man, is just truly, it's sickening for us because we know how important he is to this team.
Don't you wish you'd have been there to hear that?
Damn, man.
I do.
Well, you should attribute anything.
You should attribute everything.
That's why I ain't. Oh, let me stop.
I'm sorry.
Question, Newy?
I feel like did I stab these gentlemen in the back or
Stabbed
something?
us in the back.
Man, nah, they old school journalists. They not knowing that the public don't care. The public just want the information.
But the public.
Ed and Clarence
But that's why
were
we're
there.
here.
They're there. They were there.
Yeah, but
okay.
I have several lovely posts on my Twitter account if you'd like to read a few.
Yeah.
Oh, well, y'all tweeted the same stuff, so you made a conscious choice.
Yeah, he made a conscious choice.
Oh, okay.
That's just who he goes to for his news. He don't go to most trusted.
most trusted.
That don't make no sense. I'm
When
trying
he
to
wants to know what's going on in the
He goes
locker
to
room, he
Calvin
goes to Calvin Watkins.
Yeah, okay, whatever.
Newy, you're eligible for all kinds of upgrades on that if you'd like to consider any.
Ed Werder's Twitter account says Zack Martin declined questions about his playing future. Teammate Micah Parsons believed Martin would retire before he played for another team. Okay.
What did Clarence Hill say?
I haven't tweeted anything about that, but I would know that the best quote about that was Micah said, obviously he said he retired before he played for another team. He said he talked about him bleeding blue and white.
That's on there. He just didn't finish the quote.
That's right.
Blue and white,
this
blue
guy
and silver.
this guy bleeds blue and white, Parsons says. He's literally the representation
There you
of the
go.
Star. I just hope he has one more year left in the tank.
Yeah.
That is from Ed Werder 13 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ed.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Anything I can do to contribute, raise
Everybody
awareness.
type faster than you.
I didn't even try. I mean, it wasn't
matter of
necessary.
priorities.
I'm not trying to win a Twitter
Right,
typing contest.
Oh, no, you're hardly ever engaged on Twitter. You never have anything to say on there.
No, I have some. I'm not trying to redo the quotes on Twitter. All of that stuff is just not important. But yeah, Ed was there for the whole time. I was making my way around the locker room.
So wait a minute. If you didn't put anything out here
Why you so
on social media, why are you so offended and mad? Why are you jumping
I
on
was
me?
not offended. I'm just stating that he wasn't. I was not offended. Ed was there though. He's right here. You always say, Ed, what do you learn in the locker room? Isn't that what he normally over
Instead, he
with?
starts quoting another guy who's not here in the
That's
room.
my point. We're there in the locker room. You're gonna quote someone else.
There was
Gotta
50
quote-
people there.
There 50 people there.
But he was looking at Calvin when he said that.
Hey, man.
He was looking at
You know
his
what I
Twitter
say all
account.
the time, man. I always say, man, the most sensitive people around aren't the players. It's the media. It is the media.
We're not sensitive
so-
or offended. We're just having a conversation.
So, is Zach coming back? What do you think? What's your gut say?
I mean, the bottom line is this. I mean, it's what's understood don't have to be explained. I mean, the guy's in the last year of his contract. There's been talk. He's alluded to it in the past that this could be his last year, certainly. And that's something that Micah talked about when he was accidentally ran over Mike McCarthy earlier in the year, talking about this being
Accidentally.
he didn't do it on
Drove
purpose.
Jerry's big bus right over the top of the coach.
I mean, the numbers say what it is. I mean, and are you going to, at this point in his career, everybody believes this is his last year. Micah Parsons believes that. Talking to CeeDee Lamb, he thinks that could be the case. I talked to Marcus Lawrence. He believes that could be the case. And
How about Dalvin Cook? What'd he say?
Dalvin Cook is no longer in the locker room.
Is he still on the team?
But he's dirty. He's dirty. But they all believe this could be his last year, and understandably so. And so, yeah, so it was, he's having season-ending surgery. And certainly, and he was there, but Zack didn't want to talk about it. It's not the time to talk about it. But just because he has surgery, what's about getting healthy? Yes, you want to get healthy. You have ankle surgery. It's about the rest of your life, and he wants to get his ankle healed. You don't want to deal with an ankle injury. He's certainly not at 40, not at 50, because that thing, you want to get that thing fixed, so you can have fun with your kids. But as far as playing football again, I believe this is it.
Yeah, I don't think he's coming back. I mean, he was not an All-Pro. He was not a Pro Bowler this year. He's a good player this year, but he's used to being a great player. And so I think it's hard for guys who've been great to then be even good, let alone the level he played at. And, he was getting treated like regular average dudes this year.
And it was because of the ankle.
Yeah.
I mean, he admitted it. And he talked about but the ankle really limited him, and he couldn't be the player he used to be.
Couldn't anchor,
That's
couldn't
what it
be
is. You can't
athletic
anchor.
anymore. And the thing that surprised me about it was he talked about this was all part of his problems he's been having since training camp.
Right.
That this has been going on for that long, but he was able to
Tough through.
make it this point, help a couple of young offensive linemen be more prepared for the time when he was no longer available. But he said he went into this week thinking these 2 weeks will help me get over this, and I'll be able to play on Monday night. And did he say it was Monday or Tuesday?
It was Monday.
I think Monday he went out and worked on the field with Britt Brown, and Britt basically told him, hey, I think this is a bad idea. I think you should have the surgery now and call it quits for the season. He talked to the coaches last night or yesterday, and neither he nor McCarthy addressed the retirement issue. Like you said, Zack's concentration at this point is on just regaining his health, but he has previously talked about approaching this as it being his final season, and he said nothing to the contrary in all of the time since, including today.
Now, that's why Britt Brown's one of the best rehab guys in the business, because he could look at that and be like, nah, bro, it ain't going to work. And it's not going to get any better anytime soon. So
It's interesting. In our last show, we had Jesse Holley on, and Jesse said, as a player, he said, we're the last to know. We're the last.
We can look at several players on this, at least one other player on this team, and know they're the last to know.
Well, that's declining play. There's different with injury, though.
No, declining play is declining play.
But in this case, he might have thought that the reason for his decline in play, or at least how exaggerated it is because he's physically not healthy.
Yeah.
I bet I think it's normal to say that is part of the reason.
The amazing thing, too, was that CeeDee Lamb didn't know anything about this until he was asked the first question in the hallway outside the locker room after practice.
Yeah, he don't know anything about it.
And then he spent his 10 minutes with us, and then he went inside and immediately went over to Zack Martin and hugged him at his locker.
Yeah, and he talked about what Zack meant to him, which is a receiver. You don't really have that.
Gazelles don't hang out with hippos.
No. And he talked about how Zack has been a huge part. He always talks to him daily. How he's been a big, important part of his development as a football player, as a person.
So you talk to him every day.
Yeah, I talk to him every day, which is crazy.
Just about how to be a pro.
Yeah,
how to handle situations and get yourself ready to play every day.
You know what's interesting about that? And this happens on every team. It's amazing the people that hang around that we don't know that hang around. You know what I mean? Like, you wouldn't think that they hang around and talk like they do, but it's like that on every team where you find people that you wouldn't think hang around and talk all the time,
right?
And yet they do.
Like, I have never been surprised that Calvin and Clarence hang out all the time. I wasn't at all surprised to turn on my TV last Sunday and see the two of them sitting there together.
And on that TV show, he made a comment about, let's keep Brock Hoffman in over Zack Martin.
Who said that?
Calvin.
Oh,
okay.
I know what you're referring to now.
He said
I was ahead of my time on this topic.
and my point, and
well, tell people what you're talking about, because they don't.
Yes.
They don't necessarily know.
I was getting ready to
like,
take,
I don't watch.
There are a lot of people even before now who thought that Zack Martin should just shut it down. And let's go with Brock Hoffman, because he's younger and he brings the energy. And my point is something that Dion always says, the game don't love you back, okay?
Not at all.
You can love the game love you, and these are precious moments. And I know if Zach could play, he would want to play. He would want to go out on the field. I don't care what the record is, whatever else. This surgery is certainly taking something away from him and forced him to make a decision. But he would want to play on the field. But the conversation was about,
the way you mocked me.
I did not mock
in front of our peers in the interview room after I asked McCarthy very delicately, by the way, showing great deference.
What are you
to Zack
losing
Martin
if you bring Zack Martin back?
No, I said something about considering how well that Hoffman has played and the difference he's made. Where do what do you gain when Zack Martin comes back? And he said a couple of things about Brock Hoffman, and then he said Zack Martin's a hell of a player, And then a few minutes later, we're in the interview room, and Clarence turns around and says something about telling McCarthy that I thought Zack Martin should lose his job.
He's been the question czar for a long time.
First of all, it wasn't.
Well, he ain't dealt with me.
Really. First of all,
it's worthwhile to have the coach on the record on something
but he
like
wasn't
that.
on the record because I was on the walk off.
He wasn't on the record in terms of being quoted, but we know how he feels about it. So we knew, okay, when Zack Martin is healthy, he will be playing ahead of Brock Hoffman. For those who question that, I can answer that question.
Listen.
But thank you for your concern.
There was no concern.
I don't know how I made it this far without you guys.
We're gonna have fun with our questions, and really, your question was, what do you miss? What are you losing if Zack Martin comes back? That was your question, and you didn't mean it that way. You were being delicate with it, so that's why he said Zack Martin's a good player. Because that's what you asked him.
He asked it like a negotiator.
But the notion that you're losing something with Zack Martin coming back over Brock Hoffman
is not absurd.
Okay, that's fine.
Under the current circumstances, that is not absurd.
That's absurd.
This is the first time that's not absurd in the last 11 years. But now, it's not absurd.
So when I tweeted it, though, even though I busted your chops a little bit about it in the meeting, and that's okay.
It's okay with you.
You can bow up about it.
I'll decide if it's okay.
You can bow up about it, but that's okay. When I tweeted it, it wasn't really about you. It was because a lot of people have that same question.
Well, because 2 minutes after you said what you said, you then tweeted something to the same effect. I wasn't supposed to think that was a reference to me.
But my point is, I said reporters. If you think I'm talking
this
about
case has been decided, sir.
I said reports. Calvin Watkins have made the same statement. Some other people have made the same statement. Fans, even when I tweeted, fans say, "Yeah, I agree with you. Brock Hoffman should be the starter." So there's
it wasn't really a stupid question, except to you.
And I did not tweet it as a stupid question.
This conversation really deserved a ruling.
My tweet was not.
I'm finished with my part.
So we can see whose is longer.
You're correct. I mean,
whose argument is longer?
You are the questions are. You are the questions.
The questions are. First of all, we have fun with each other. It's okay. It's how you get by the day. It's okay.
Kaiser Source said,
we can have some fun with each other.
I don't love Clarence, but I can still like him.
We can have some fun with each other. It's okay.
You used to wear Gelkin out.
I mean, because he asked, they were 30 minutes long.
Can you tell me what the difference between the 3.4 hang time from a punter in his 5th season and how that affects coverage, please?
I mean, my problem is the guys.
Gelkin was good at what he did, by the way.
Yeah, he was.
It doesn't just him. The guys that take 2 minutes to ask the question. I mean, you ain't got to sit up. You ain't got to tell us all these different angles.
Clarence would rather just go, Mike, talk about interceptions.
Yeah, can I get it? Get to the crux of the matter. It's funny.
Anything else today?
Yeah, so on Zack Martin, by the way, I will ask you the question we asked in the previous podcast. I think we can all agree he's a Hall of Famer. The question I have is, does he get in on the first ballot?
I mean, he should, but it's offensive linemen are always crazy. They didn't win nothing, so I'm not gonna sit there and say, depending on who the class is when he comes up, he should or he shouldn't. But his resume will say he should, but they didn't win nothing while he was here, and so there may be somebody else who rolls through who has won some rings.
And he doesn't touch the ball, which also makes it more difficult. But I agree that he'll get in the Hall of Fame, whether he's first ballot or not. I don't know. I mean, we don't know if Eli Manning is going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
I don't think
and he's won Super Bowls.
Eli Manning is not a first ballot guy. Zack Martin is the first ballot guy. I'm not in the room. 7 first team All Pros.
That's hard to do.
There's only 2 other guys.
John Hanna.
Yeah. 2 other guys guards who have first-team All-Pros, okay? 7th. Not even Larry Allen.
Who's the other one? Hannah and who?
Will Shields, is it?
I'll look it up for you.
I don't know.
But he's the first
I had a
team.
tweet on that earlier.
Yeah, got it from your tweet.
Yeah, you know who does have a vote?
Calvin Watkins.
Randall McDaniel.
Calvin Watkins.
No, he got a vote this year. He won't have a vote next year.
Randall McDaniel and John Hanna are the only 7-time first-team All-Pros among offensive
Now,
guards.
was Randall McDonald first ballot?
I don't know.
I know
don't
John.
think so. John Hanna wasn't.
I know John. Huh? He wasn't
That
first
wasn't?
ballot.
I don't think so.
Zack Martin, 9 Pro Bowls in his 11 seasons, all-decade player. So
All decade put you in there.
And he could be in the same eligible class as Tyron Smith,
yes,
who just went through this last week with the
Yeah.
Jets.
I don't think Tyron Smith is first ballot. I think Zack Martin is though.
I'm not going to disagree with that.
I would agree with you there. And obviously, Ed, you bring up a good point too. Who's in the class? You know, if you're in a
The other thing that matters, dog, is who's voting. Meaning, as older guys drop off, if you get too young, there may be some guys like Zack Martin, Cowboys.
There'll be a lot of people that will tell you Zack Martin was.
and that becomes your campaign. Who's going to be your presenter, and what type of campaign do you put out there? Who's your Gary Myers to help push you
It's
out
always
there?
good to have Rick Gosselin do that thing.
Since we're doing this, and I know we got to go to a break.
Don't be Spielberg. Settle down, man. Newy will tell us when it's time to go to a break.
What's 3:15, man? 3:15. What about Ring of Honor? Which one of these guys going to Ring of Honor? And we look at
They ain't won nothing. I thought that was part of the criteria.
the criteria is Hall of Fame.
Romo and Witten aren't in there yet, are they?
Well, I'm just saying. I think Witten will get in. It's
Romo's gonna get in for sure.
Tyron Smith.
This is a very good conversation we'll have on the flip side. Thank you, Kaiser. I appreciate that. Got Clarence Hill, Ed Werders, Jock Taylor. I'm Newy Scruggs. Boy, we are off and running right here on the Media Mash on
Big picture.
DallasCowboys.com.
Drawback finds Pearson. It's caught. Touchdown.
The Dallas Morning News delivers full press coverage of the Cowboys.
Bateman straight drop, throws it over the middle. Irvin in for the touchdown, Cowboys.
We cover your Cowboys from the preseason to the postseason and beyond.
Boot to the right. Looking down the field. Lamb. Victory.
Game by game, play by play. No one delivers your Cowboys like the Dallas Morning News. Connect deeper to the Dallas Cowboys with the Dallas Morning News.
I'm Cowboys alumni Danny McCray, here with Smoothie King asking, what's that sound? That's the sound of me sipping one of their power-packed smoothies with over 10 grams of protein. With real fruits and organic veggies, because at Smoothie King, what you see is what you sip. So grab a delicious Smoothie King smoothie, throw a straw in your jaw, and get sipping real. Smoothie King, the official smoothie of the Dallas Cowboys.
To kick off the 2023 NFL season, Hugo Boss teamed up with the NFL and Micah Parsons to launch an iconic apparel collection featuring hoodies, crews, t-shirts, polos, joggers, and more. The bold, unique apparel of the Boss NFL collection unites football and fashion while reflecting what it truly means to be a boss. Get yours today at nflshop.com/HugoBoss, at HugoBoss.com, and at Boss retail stores. #Be your own boss.
Hey Cowboy fans, I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. But lately, I've been learning a new game, crypto. Sound confusing? Don't worry, even us pros were rookies in crypto once. That's why I trust blockchain.com. They make crypto easy. No confusing jargon, just the tools to help you win.
Prescott keeps it, slides with a first down.
Invest like your icons, where everyone is a rookie in crypto with blockchain.com.
Perfect throw, my goodness. Wow, did he ever thread the needle.
Visit blockchain.com/Cowboys to get started.
Back to Media Mash.
All right, segment number 2 of the Media Mash coming to you from Frisco, home of the Dallas Cowboys. Clarence Hill, Ed Werder, Jock Taylor, I'm Newy Scruggs. All right. Kaiser, you had a very good point talking about Ring of Honor. If this is the end for Zack Martin. So we're starting to have a list here. You've got the pre-list from pre-Jerry of guys like
Everson Walls, who should be in, is still not in.
Everson Walls, Too Tall Jones, former MVP, Super Bowl MVP, co-MVP Harvey Martin, list of guys there. Cornell Green. Then you've got Jerry's people, DeMarcus Ware, who's in the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Where's in?
Where's in? Where got in?
Yeah, he's in. Oh, yeah.
Remember he called him
Yes.
DeMarcus Lawrence.
Jerry.
Yes,
That's how I remember it.
Yeah, shoot. Jason Witten, who is going into the Pro Football Hall of Fame at some point, in my opinion. Tony Romo has been mentioned before by Jerry.
Ezekiel Elliott, 2-time rushing champ. I know it's crazy, but that's just it.
There is no criteria. It's how Jerry feels about players.
See, and I always thought, this is just me, tell me if I'm wrong, I thought the criteria was gold jacket, Super Bowls. I thought you had to have something there.
It's the criteria to somebody that you want to get in. Doesn't hit that criteria, then you move the goalpost.
Because I think there are people in the fan base that think that they should be in.
But who did Jerry lower that for since he's been putting people in?
Not Jimmy Johnson.
Well, he put Woodson in to try to help him get to the Hall of Fame.
But
because he deserved it.
He deserved it, no doubt.
Yeah,
but I think
he's got Super Bowls.
Right.
I'm saying gold jacket,
like
Super Bowls.
Everson Walls won't get in until he goes to the Hall of Fame.
Is there anybody up there who hasn't either won a Super Bowl or been in the Pro Football Hall of Fame?
The early guys. The early guys.
But who Jerry's put in.
Yeah.
Jerry.
Yeah.
Since Jerry's been doing this. So for the most part, we're talking gold jacket or Super Bowls if Jerry's been putting you in.
So he's probably waiting for
Well, it ain't or. It's gold jackets and Super Bowls for the Jerry's guys right now.
But that's about to change. But so he probably
Ware got a Super Bowl with Denver though.
Hey, but he got a Super Bowl.
But I'm just saying.
And he's got a jacket.
True, he got the jacket, but I'm saying I thought it was either one. Not that you had both. I thought it was one of the.
The truth is, when it's a one-man voting committee, there are no real rules.
It is. So I think that Witten is a shoe-in to be a Hall of Famer.
And then you put his BFF in when he come in, regardless of what he got.
Who?
Romo.
Right. So do you put Romo in?
No.
When Witten comes in, you can slide Romo in with him.
No.
Because Witten got the gold jacket and he wouldn't have it.
Okay,
Number
but
9
if you open the door for Witten,
it's one-man committee. I can do what I want to.
I understand. I'm having a conversation.
Yes, sir.
We're having a conversation. Open door for Witten. Open door for Romo. When Dak ends his career as the team's all-time leading passer, you open the door for him too then.
Dak's a great humanitarian. Faith, family, fight. I got no problem with that.
Okay. But
then if you don't look up, you're going to be like the Washington Ring of Honor or the Denver Ring of Honor. What's number 12's quarterback up in there?
We could be in there.
Craig Morton is in the Denver
That's
Ring
what
of
I
Honor.
mean. But I'm thinking somebody's in the Denver Ring of Honor. Like, that dude played
Charlie Johnson.
Yes.
Quarterback.
But I'm thinking of Tyrus.
That's what I'm talking about.
Like, who is this guy?
I looked at Ed when I said it because I know with his Denver roots, if I said it long enough, he would know who I was
I'm going
talking
to Zack Martin, Tyrus Smith, Jason Witten, to me, should be based on their success and acclaim as far as Pro Bowls and All Pros should go in.
They'll be, if they're not Hall of Famers, which I think Witten and Zach are, and I believe the Tyrant has that resume, all three, they will be talked about in the room. There will be a vote held on all three of those players. There will be no vote for Ezekiel Elliott. There'll be no vote for Romo. There'll be no vote for Dick. They may not even get on the ballot.
There's no ballot. It's
I don't even
Jerry.
think they're going to get on the ballot. Okay.
There's no. We're talking about Ring of Honor ballot. There's no ballot.
That's what he's talking about. He's talking about in the Hall of Fame.
Okay, because
no, are you talking about Hall of Fame with Jerry?
I'm talking about them in the Hall of Fame, which also, as you start to, Jerry looks at the Ring of Honor, that you need Super Bowls or Hall of Fame.
Well, point of order, Romo's already been on the Hall of Fame ballot.
He's not been a finalist.
No, but he's on the ballot. I'm pointing just from a
there's
ballot.
like 100 people on the ballot.
Right, I'm saying
he's talking
ballot.
about to the point where you're in the room and you're talking about it at the Super Bowl about whether they get in or not.
Like
He's
a
never
Woodson
been to that
conversation
point.
or
Yes.
Everson conversation.
Yes.
Well, we call you up and say, Doug, we hope you get in.
Right.
Well,
right.
Everson's a senior candidate now.
Yeah.
Yes,
the Hall of
yes,
Fame.
that's what I mean. We're having legitimate conversations, and you're in the room, and people are like, "Hey, we need to start making some phone calls because you're in."
You're being logical when it's Jerry Jones making the decision, and I understand your logic.
And I'm looking at Jerry's history.
It's history until he changes it. Because I'm going to tell you, he's going to think about Romo. Whether he's a finalist or not.
I told you what he going to do.
Because I always thought that Romo, Witten, and Ware would go in together. You know, but I'm telling you, he's going to think about Romo. There's no question about that. Romo never got his true retirement here in Dallas. Never got his bon voyage.
They should think
Best friend gave a job away. His other best friend didn't stand up for him.
He gonna think about Romo.
What about Jason Garrett? 10 years.
Jason's not getting in the record books.
Well, he got rings.
He's not getting in the
Barry Switzer can't get in, and he won a ring.
Kinda.
Jimmy ain't in.
Hey, he mentioned Jimmy's in.
Oh, he did get in.
Got in last year.
Yes.
Where were you? Were you not in Charlotte when they made the announcement?
That's right. That's right. We got Charlie coming up. I
The
forgot.
weirdest decision ever?
It was so long. I
Yes,
forgot.
you and Todd were very critical that day. Very critical in the media lounge that day.
So I guess we can say we don't know because we don't know what Jerry's thought process is, and we don't know what his personal qualifications are now or what they'll be 3 or 4 years from now, presuming Witten gets in the Hall of Fame at that point.
Yeah, but we do believe Witten and Zach are led by Sith law.
Shoe-ins.
Shoe-ins.
To both.
And I think Tyron Smith fits that as well.
I'd be surprised if he didn't get in, Tyron Smith.
Right. So
I think
Hall of Fame or Ring of Honor or both?
Both.
I think that's there. So, okay. All right. Interesting. To me, the ultimate Zack Martin moment, and I talked about this on the last show, is I remember sitting at Channel 5 on the draft day, and here they are, 16. And Manziel's out there. And normally the news people don't come and deal with us on draft day, but it's Johnny. It's Johnny
They
fever
want Johnny
like crazy.
football in Dallas.
And Katie Dendas is like, if this happens, you're now the lead. We're going to go blow this thing out for Johnny. I'm like, all right, let me go put some makeup on because Jerry's going to do that. He can't help himself. I went to that Cotton Bowl game where they played Oklahoma and they were selling seats in the Sprite zone for $500 just to come see Johnny football. And Jerry loves from Johnny. I'm like, man, he's about to do this. And sure enough, it happens, and it's Zack Martin. And
there was a whole lot of cheering in the media room, like, yes! We'll have to deal with that mess.
And the thing I remember about Zack Martin, he was the MVP of the Pinstripe Bowl as the left tackle for Notre Dame. Like, that's what I remembered about the guy. And then I watched him at Senior Bowl practice, and he and Aaron Donald were there, and people were like saying, Mike Mayock, these are two good football players. Like, that's all I knew about Zack Martin. But it was not Johnny Manziel. And then remember we went to training camp, and Jerry was still moaning and groaning about not taking Manziel.
You don't lay up. It's just in this game, you don't hit layup shots.
And if you
got to go for the green.
Steven. And I thought when we would interview Zack Martin, like, man, this is really, you feel bad for the dude. Like, the owner's, you're here, but the owner's still crying about a guy about that.
He had a very accomplished career, did Zack Martin, if he never plays again. And the first accomplishment was he kept Johnny Manziel out of Dallas.
Yes.
We all owe him for that.
But it's typical, Jerry. I mean, it's just like in 2016. Jason Garrett has said Dak is the quarterback. Jason Witten said Dak is the quarterback.
Jason Witten says Dak is the quarterback.
Where week 15, 16, 17, Jerry Jones after the game, I dream of Tony Romo leading us to the Super Bowl. Why are you doing this?
It's disrespectful to the rookie who just went 13-3.
Right. Why are you talking about this?
Talking to Todd Archer.
Stop it.
Archie was telling you. I remember the Giant game that year when Dak finally lost the game.
That was the first game.
No, it was the second game.
Okay.
That was right, yes, but it was the second. But Romo was, the Giant game, Romo was hurt, so Romo was available, and the Cowboys didn't win. And afterwards, Todd had asked, "Did you think about putting Tony in?" He's like, "No." Why?
Yeah, man, he was supporting his client.
You stop it. You're so dirty.
I learned from you. I learned from you, son.
Same way most trusted supports his client.
So
hey,
dirty.
Darren Woodson was one of my clients. We all got
You guys
clients.
are talking too much. This is bad for journalism.
He's so dirty.
Journalism has enough
Brett
problems.
Favre was his client, so we ain't trying to hear that.
Show enough was.
We ain't trying to hear that.
You so dirty.
Ed Werder's
Reporting live
Ed Werder's
from Bill, Mississippi.
Why you say Todd was the ring bearer at the wedding?
I recuse myself from this conversation.
Could take a break.
Is this what we're supposed to be talking about?
So dirty.
Media match. Cowboys.com break.
Why are you doing this?
Hey, Cowboy fans, I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. But lately, I've been learning a new game, Crypto. Sound confusing? Don't worry. Even us pros were rookies in crypto once. That's why I trust blockchain.com. They make crypto easy. No confusing jargon, just the tools to help you win.
Prescott keeps it, slides with a first down.
Invest like your icons, where everyone is a rookie in crypto with blockchain.com.
Perfect throw, my goodness. Wow, did he ever thread the needle.
Visit blockchain.com/Cowboys to get started.
Fall is here, and that means football is back, bringing all the delicious game day foods with it. As you prep for all the big games, tailgates, and watch parties, let Yo Quiero be your one-stop destination for all things home gating. Yo Quiero's fresh, flavorful, ready-to-serve guacamole made with real Hass avocados will score taste bud touchdowns as you cheer on the Cowboys. Yo Quiero's wide range of mouthwatering and versatile products can be found in your local grocery store's produce or deli section. Grab some today.
Hey, Cowboys fans, the 2024 football season is here, and SeatGeek is here to help you experience all the action. SeatGeek makes it easy to find tickets so you can be a part of all the touchdown celebrations this season. Whether you're buying or selling tickets to Cowboys football games or to any other live event, SeatGeek is the place to do it. SeatGeek is the official primary ticketing partner of the Dallas Cowboys. The most disruptive idea in ticketing? A ticket that works. Expect the expected. SeatGeek.
How about them Cowboys? Or how about them Tyson Cowboys Nuggets? As we cheer for the stars on the field, we love that we've also got some stars on our plate, thanks to Tyson brand star-shaped Cowboys Nuggets. They sure make game day special, and for every purchase of the new Tyson Cowboys Nuggets this holiday season, Tyson Foods will donate $1 to the Salvation Army up to $100,000. As you enjoy your stars on and off the plate, remember, tailgates and game day have always been Tyson.
Back to Media Mash.
All right, back to the Media Mash. Clarence Hill, Ed Werder. We got Jacques Taylor. I am Newy Scruggs. Okay, Cowboys taking on the Cincinnati Bengals for Monday Night Football. Long break for the Cowboys as they try to win their second straight game at Jerry World, their third straight overall. Cincinnati was favored by 6 earlier this week. Is down to 5.5. Jacques, who are you going with in this one?
Oh, I think I don't know how the Cowboys, even though the defense has been playing better, I don't know how you stop Joe Burrows and that offense, and even if you slow them down, I don't know that the Cowboys offense score enough. So I like Cincinnati.
You got a score for me?
Oh man, I think it's something like 33-24.
Most trusted.
This is a tough game.
Well, I almost went. I wasn't looking, and he said most trusted, and I almost answered.
Boy.
I think he means you, Clarence.
I'll say Hall of Famer next.
Oh, okay.
Something funny, right?
So
Some humorous.
Most trusted in Hall of Fame.
That's all it's been.
There you go. Interesting game here because we really haven't talked about the game today. And certainly the Bengals have that high-powered offense, and we know what Joe Burrow can do, and we know what Chase and Higgins and those guys can do, but we don't talk enough about how bad that defense is. They took a setback today. I think their linebacker was put on injured reserve.
And they had Russell Wilson looking like a superstar.
Made Russell Wilson look, yeah.
Russell's cooking.
Russell was cooking. The question is, can Cooper perform like that? That's really not the avenue you want Cooper to be performing in. Running the ball, keep away. Micah getting after the quarterback. Trevon Diggs.
Can we get the score?
He's doing his Gelatin.
I'm trying to break down the game just a little bit, so we haven't talked about the game at all. Trying to give you some game talk. I mean, you just want to go right into the score. Do you just score for it? You do a little.
There's not going to be time for me to make my pick.
We got plenty of time. You do a little foreplay first before you score, Jock Taylor. I'm trying to figure out.
I'm old man. Now I just go get the score.
Right to the end zone.
Got to warm it up a little.
Go ahead, Clarence. Break it down.
Nope. Got the prime to pump it up.
Break it down, Clarence.
Going deep. He's trying to sit around here and dig and doink. No time for that Bill Walsh offense.
No.
Bombs away, Raiders.
I've always
Mike Martins.
The Cowboys have talked about winning out and certainly building on that momentum. If they want to legitimize that momentum, legitimize what they did the past 2 weeks, beat Cincinnati. Beat this Bengals team. Stop this Bengals offense. Win this game. Cooper Rush go 2-0 against Joe Burrow. Cooper Rush has beaten Joe Burrow before. Do that.
Is that what you're picking?
I'm picking the Bengals. I'm just.
What's the score, sir?
But I'm just saying, it's not just. I don't think it's going to be just the slam dunk for Cincinnati that we think it's going to be. So I picked 28-24 Bengals.
So I think it'd be a really entertaining game.
Yeah.
Hall of Famer, Ed Werder.
I'll try to be a little more concise, but also offer some analysis as explanation. The Bengals have a 3-game losing streak. In that 3-game losing streak, Joe Burrow has thrown for 1,093 yards with 10 touchdowns and 1 interception. But he's also been sacked 10 times, and he's fumbled 4 times. The Bengals have scored 38, 34, and 27 points in those games and lost them all. They have lost 4 times when they've scored 33 or more points this year.
The rest
the
of
most
the NFL?
in NFL history.
The rest of the NFL has lost how many times?
Like 52-1 or something like that.
Correct.
In that circumstance. So I am going to take the Bengals 35-13.
Whoa.
He set it up and then smacked him down.
No, what
All
do
of
you
a
mean?
sudden, the Bengals defense going to show because you just allowed 1 touchdown.
The Bengals defense. You trust in the Bengals defense.
I'm not.
1 touchdown.
Get the Cowboys just 13 points.
Oh, that's a lot?
Yeah, so you trust in the Bengals defense going to shut down the Cowboys
No, he
at
could be
home.
thinking that the Bengals get off to a good start. Dallas has to play from behind.
Have we not seen Dallas get blown out at home all year? Ever?
not
Did
the
that
last
never
2 weeks.
happen?
It's a good team, not the bad team.
Bengals not.
This is a good offensive team. Joe Burrow should be an MVP candidate.
30-5, dog.
If Joe Burrow goes 0-2 against Cooper Rush and they lose to the Cowboys,
Zach Taylor won't be coaching there next
But
year.
nobody's picking that to happen.
Okay.
Unless you want to change your mind.
no, I'm not picking at that.
We do have Thursday Night Football tonight. Green Bay at Detroit, 3.5-point favorite for Detroit. Hall of Famer.
I got to stay with the Lions. They're hurt on defense. Green Bay's playing great on offense, but the Lions at home, nobody's beaten the Lions at home this year. I will take the Lions by 28-21.
28-21.
I'd like to keep track of this.
Okay.
Yeah, we never bring it back up.
No.
Chill.
Detroit City, 30-24.
30-24. JJT.
Yeah, I think at the crib the Lions win, man. 34-31.
I got a question for you guys.
I had a question too. Do we have the same question?
No, I doubt it. Who's the best team in the NFC right now?
Man, I asked you that question this morning.
You did?
Detroit.
So that was my question.
So it's either the Lions or the Eagles.
Right, not Green Bay. I mean, I think we're counting out. I think Lions and Eagles, right. I think it's the Lions right now, but the Eagles are playing well.
Correct. What's you there? What you got?
I think the Lions are because I think until proved otherwise. Although they showed me a little something last week coming back from 9-0. I think the Eagles are a bunch of whiny front runners, and if they get smacked upside the head, they'll turn around like they coach and go back home crying to their mama.
Wow.
Hall of Fame.
I think the Lions have shown 0 flaws to this point. I think their defense has been much improved. I mean, Jared Goff had the one weird game against the Texans where he threw 5 picks, and they still didn't lose. So I like the Lions.
They're a mentally tough team to me.
Yeah. By the way, I got Green Bay tonight. Green Bay. Green Bay winning tonight here.
On the road.
Got Green Bay winning on the road.
If Green Bay can run the ball, they got a chance.
31-27 Lions facing some injuries here. Not going to have left tackle Decker. By the way, last week, just so we have it, last time we had a media mash, Pittsburgh was at Cleveland. Jock, you took Pittsburgh. Ed, you took Pittsburgh. Chill, you took Pittsburgh. Then Dallas at Washington. I took Pittsburgh.
Okay.
We're all wrong.
We could all be losers together.
And then Dallas at Washington.
I can't remember that.
We all took Washington. I mean, let's just be honest.
Yeah, you had it 34-9 Washington. Ed had it 28-10 Washington. Chill, you had 30-10 Washington. I had Washington too. So
what was your score?
So we went over 8 the last time we picked.
My score was 23-10.
That's why we don't spend no money betting.
So
0-8.
You said you know we don't bring it up, so I just brought it up for you, just make you feel good.
Could have waited. You should have picked another week.
You could have kept that one.
There you go. What you got? You had a question?
No, that was a question. Who's the best team in the NFC?
Question for you.
Yes, sir.
Ryan Day gonna make it?
You know you did good, though. I mean, you spent all this time. You didn't pick at my scab.
No, it's not a scab. I mean, because I am one of those who
I'm not a one game person.
I'm with you. I would like to look at the bigger picture of this thing, and yes, I understand because I was there when I lived in Ohio. I was there during the Cooper years, so I get what it is. But that guy's done a good job.
No, he's done a good job. He's won some big games. Had to kick it, not missed a 45-yard field goal in the dome. He'd have won a natty, but you have to beat this.
Made it close.
It was at the end of the game. They'd have won.
I'm just saying.
Don't play with me about that.
No, I'm talking about the
If you could get Vrabel instead, would you do it?
I don't think he wants to coach for college football.
4 straight losses against your rival.
It happens, man.
I know if that colors his tenure and how you feel about it.
It covers. I'm not a over the top fanatic. I'm a realist. So now I will tell y'all that truly was the worst game plan I've ever seen. And I'm not really a guy who talks about game plan stuff, but Michigan got one strength. Really, they 2 defensive tackles. Why you would run in between the tackles?
Yeah, what was Chip Kelly calling? What was
Chip Kelly doing, man?
So
that was a bad game plan. And it's clear right now that they got a mental thing against Michigan. And so they can play free now because everybody thinks they suck. And so if you want to impress somebody, go make some noise in the playoffs.
So I remember that year that they played Georgia, they lost. Ryan Day's family didn't go home. They took him to a
mental center.
No, it was death threats. They actually took the family like, no, we can't stay there. And then they go on that run and set field goal away from playing TCU national championship, and probably lost the championship. But but I would not get rid of Ryan Day. That's just me.
You always have to have a better answer, and not just a hope and a prayer, but a better answer.
You know what?
Can I get Dan Lanning from Oregon?
No, you can't. But this is what I would say, and Clarence understands it. I mean, Mac Brown went through she went through some challenges at Texas, and eventually he won. And I look at Ryan Day and I think Ryan Day is a better coach and has had more success kind of looking at what he's been doing since he was at Ohio State than Mac Brown. Now, obviously, Urban Meyer left him a whole lot, but I just think there's something to be said for keeping people who are doing some significant winning, and at some point in time they can break through. We saw Mac Brown break through.
Yeah,
it's a different game then.
Everybody,
different times, but
it's much like Cowboy fans. You expect you're supposed to win a national championship every year.
Who's your next quarterback? I mean, because Mac Brown broke through because of Vince Young, and you guys went and got a quarterback out the portal this year, got Kansas State, who was not a franchise type quarterback. Do you have that guy?
I ain't that deep.
So you don't have one on the roster right now?
No, I mean, I don't know. I'm not that deep. I'm not Albert Breer. Albert Breer can tell you they're too deep at every spot. Okay. I'm not that
Let's
deep.
get him in here.
Yeah, we do. Exactly.
Nah, I don't think they had. I don't think
you don't have. You don't have. But you don't have an Arch Manning. Is what I'm saying. You don't have.
Nah, we got Devin Brown who wears 33. After Sammy Ball though.
You got a quarterback wearing 33?
Mm-hmm. After Sammy Ball. Real talk.
These young kids got to be, they don't even know who Sammy Ball is. I don't think they got YouTube with Sammy Ball.
That's why he wears 33.
With Zack Martin in the show here, with Zack Martin going on IR, is this more ammunition that McCarthy can take to Jerry as he gets ready to make his decision at the end and say, hey, man, look, some challenges with the way the roster was constructed, and then I had a lot of injuries to some key players. Miss Michael Parsons, Miss Dak Prescott,
Deron Bland, Trayvon Diggs.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you hurt my team answer this. You hurt my team real bad.
I'm gonna say that Jerry's already said that's not going to be a factor when he said we've only won 3 ball games with Dak playing.
Okay.
What are the odds he comes back? Because Troy seems to think there's a chance he comes back. What odds would you give him coming back?
Give him almost none if he didn't do something in the playoffs. But it is odd. All of a sudden, Jerry's very public about the praise he's offered for McCarthy as a coach. I don't think it's anything close to the worst thing they could do, bringing McCarthy back.
But I don't know how you bring him back.
What are the alternatives?
Well, I say it in this okay, even if you want to bring him back, what deal do you give him?
Yeah.
Do you say
1 year?
Do you say, hey, Mike, I got a 1 year deal for you?
Don't forget, he's a free agent. He could leave of his own volition if he chose.
Let me tell you something. That would be the funniest thing. Like, hey, dog,
it could happen.
I'll holler at you.
What if Jerry offers him a 2-year deal and New Orleans offers him a 5-year deal? He's going to leave.
That would be the funniest thing ever.
My thing is, it's more the media content. It's all about content. Because 2 weeks ago, middle of a 5-game losing streak,
he was getting fired.
The question was, are you going to fire him in the middle of the season? Okay? You going to fire him? No, I'm not firing him in the middle. I've never made it. I'm not doing it. I regretted firing Wade Phillips in the middle of the season. I'm not firing. Now he wins 2 games. And these questions are, would it be crazy if we bring him back? What? So
and one of those Jerry is the worst team in the league.
Jerry refuses to say I'm going to fire him. So why would he not? I mean, he's going to say what he's going to say until the season is over.
Well, Micah Parsons in the locker room today talked about he'd like to run it back. He knows it's probably not going to happen, right? He said he'd like to run it back with Dak and D-Law
Did he bring up
and
the coach?
Zack Martin. He didn't mention Mike McCarthy this time like he did the last. He's learned to keep that name out of his mouth, I think, the hard way.
I'm just saying, if you don't
But can you do that?
Yeah.
Like, can you... Like most people thought, you should have fired him after
the Green
Bay playoff loss, that debacle, and they didn't do it. They brought him back. So now, if you finish whatever that it's going to be, if another losing season, if that happens, how are you going to justify that to your fan base? Most of the fan base wants Jerry to be fired. That's not going to happen for sure. So does he have to give him McCarthy as a concession, or can you just roll it back?
This is going to be fun stuff. Well, until then, we've got a Monday night game, and I guess the Simpsons are going to be doing something. The Simpsons, as you watch the game on ESPN Plus or whatever, and a Manning cast, and so there you go. A whole lot of entertainment around this game.
2 losing teams.
You got to do something, baby.
4-7, 5-8.
Hey, Thanksgiving Day, they had a hell of a number, so a lot of people watched. So, it's something about...
I'm sure that made Jerry feel good. Jerry cares about that.
Most watched for most trusted. Clarence Hill.
Fake show dead. Fake show dead. Fake show dead. Did you see them get blown out last night?
Did you see James Worthy's comments about
Oh, my God.
J.J. Redick. Well, good luck with that. Ed Werder, Hall of Famer. Appreciate you. The author, Jean-Jacques Taylor. Man, thank you so much. For Chris Beam, Jazz, Josh, everybody a part of it here. I'm Newy Scruggs. We'll talk to you on the Media Mash next week on DallasCowboys.com.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!